Hello, my fellow Nigerians. Service of songs was held in honor of the late former Army Chief of Staff, Taoreed Lagbaja. The Nigerian Army on Thursday held a service of songs in honor of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who passed on after a brief illness on November 5. The service of songs marked the commencement of the burial rites for the late COS, whose remains was flown into Abuja on Thursday from Lagos. Speaking on behalf of the 39th regular course of the Nigerian Defence Academy, Major General Kelvin Aligbe reminisced on their journey at the Nigerian Defence Academy. Aligbe, who is the commander, training and doctrine command, noted that the late Chief of Army Staff and 199 of them assembled by training as members of the course on September 12, 1992. He said that they trained and were commissioned together into the armed forces, adding that the late Lagbaja, right from onset, led with no doubt. He was first and foremost an operational commander. Little wonder that while commands in the service are sometimes difficult to come by, he had the privilege of being the only person in my memory serves me right. If my memory serves me right, to have commanded a battalion at two different times. He commanded brigades at two different times. He was a general officer commanding at two different times. He was primed for the operation that he led, through which, even though they say soldiers don't die, his memories, they fade away. The only way my course mates and I and the other members of the armed forces, officers and soldiers that he left behind can honor his memory truly is to continue what he believed in. He believed in the indivisibility of Nigeria. He believed in service. He gave everything at the risk of sounding immodest. I don't know if we gave him enough. Dear coursemate, dear friend, dear boss, sleep until we meet again, he said. Speaking on behalf of the Nigerian Army Officers Wife Association, Hajiya Bilikisu Ibrahim described the late COS as a man that gave hope and courage to those he served and led. Ibrahim said that the memory of Lagbaja would remain indelible in the hearts of every member of the Nigerian Army family for a very long time. In every step, he walked a path of growth, of building strength and dedication to the service of Nigeria. To those he served, he was a pillar of protection and unwavering beacon amidst storms of sanity and threats. But beyond our soldiers was a man of faith, a spirit rooted in devotion and conviction. In the trials of duty, he held fast to his spirituality, finding in prayers the fortitude that guide him through the darkest battles. His beliefs were his anchor, a quiet force that strengthened him as he led a sacrifice for the nation he loved. His life was not only a mission of arms, but of the heart of a journey where faith met duty and courage met compassion. As we gather hands held in solace and grief, we recall the gentleness in his smile, the depth of his wisdom, the vision that he led, armies and inspired peace, she said. The global president of St. Charles Grammar School, Oshogbo Old Boys Association, Mr. Tade Adekunle, read a poem written by one of the current students of the school in honor of the late COAS. Adekunle disclosed that the poem was written by an SS2 student named Agboola Rahim. Part of the poem reads, "The immortal hero, a militant heart, now still and cold. The nations mourn, both young and old. A warrior's soul, a poet's might on the field of faith. You shone so bright. With every piece of bread, you shield our motherland, leading brave men with a steadfast hand, but now empty blade of a horror, now laid down. It is cannons cry extinguished, yet legend remains, a warrior's pulse, now sealed in time on the altar of freedom. You laid your life, your sacrifice, our beacon of hope." The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that the event had an attendance the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who led other service chiefs, including the acting COS, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala. Others were the Chief of the Air Staff, represented by AVM Iboro Etukodo, Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Emmanuel Odiadeye, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun. Also in attendance are the Controller General, Nigerian Customs Services, Bashir Adeniyi, former service chiefs, retired military officers, wives, and the service chiefs flanked the wife of the late Chief of Army Staff, Mrs. Maria Lagbaja. In accordance to the burial program, funeral services will hold at the National Christian Center, while the interment follows at the National Military Cemetery, Abuja, on Friday. In a related issue, see what is going on. He said Nigerian Army holds service songs. The late Chief of Army Staff, General Taurid Lagbaja, will be buried at the National Military Cemetery today. His body arrived at the Air Force wing of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at around 12:16 p.m. from Lagos yesterday, and service of songs was conducted in the evening. The service of songs was held at Mogadishu Cantonment yesterday, and the interment will take place this afternoon, according to the burial program released by the Director of Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu. Lagbaja will be buried at the National Military Cemetery in Abuja today. Meanwhile, members of the Nigerian Defense Academy's 39th regular course describes the late Army General, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, as an extraordinary military leader. The commander of the Training and the Doctrine Command, Major General Kelvin Aligbe, stated this at the service of a songs ceremony held in honor of the late COS in Abuja on Thursday. Aligbe, speaking on behalf of the 39th regular course, noted that it was no wonder Lagbaja was the only officer to command a battalion twice. Reflecting on their shared journey, Aligbe recalled their commissioning as part of the 39 regular course on 12th September 1987 when 199 officers, cadets, began training to join the armed forces. He added that Lagbaja stood out as a natural leader from the beginning. He said, on the 12th of September 1982, I then Officer Cadet Tarid Lagbaja and 199 others assembled for training as members of the 39th Regular Course. We trained and we commissioned together into the armed forces right from the start. He led without question. He was above all an operational commander. It is little wonder that while command opportunities in the services can be rare, he was privileged to be the only person, if memory serves, to have commanded a battalion on 2 separate occasions. Like as he has just said, he commanded brigades twice as well as served as a general commanding officer twice. My brothers and sisters, this is what we are saying, that we should serve our nation with our wholeheartedly, so that in future people will say good of us. So that is how Lagbaja goes, and we thank God for the life well spent. My people, in the comment section, feel free to say your comment. Subscribe to this channel. Love, share, and like. God bless Nigeria. Thanks and God bless. Amen.